Okay guys, I wanted to make a video here about an updated video on emergency communications during an SHTF type scenario. In the older video I had CB radios and I had a way to charge them, solar charge them, and I said eventually I'll get into hams, right? And I'm going to have a setup with both, and that's what we've got here. But I want to say, number one guys, I'm not the expert. Okay, I'm your average Joe. I learn as I go. I don't know it all. I don't want to, I don't want people to think, I'm pretending like I know it all. I don't. I get immersed in something. I read a lot. I'll watch YouTube videos on it, and then I get my hands on after I have an idea of what I'm working with. And that's really what I just learn as I go. All right. So this is a setup for just your everyday, your average Joe like me. I don't have a ham radio license. I don't plan to get it. It's just something for emergency communications. And yeah, there's better ways to go about it. But like I said, I'm just your average Joe trying to look for something on a budget for a lot of people. The most efficient and cost effective I can. And that's what this is. Now, before we get into this, before you even, communications are vital in a SHTF especially, right? Let's say whether there's a disaster and cell phones are down, you have to have a way to communicate with those you care about, your family and such. And if things really got bad, you need a way to, communicate with your group. And let's say those of you who want to run checkpoints and all that civilian sheepdog type, I'm not going to do that kind of stuff. But hey, if that's what you're into, more power to you. But you need communications. And you need to practice radio discipline, radio silence. Don't talk over a radio unless you have to, and talk in code, all right? You can't find some group, hey, look, you got food and I have ammo, we'll trade at the intersection of this street and this street right in front of that Taco Bell, because if things are bad, there's bad guys listening. I'm a nerd, man. I like watching, all kinds of science stuff, but I was watching, whether, science fiction or nonfiction, I love them both. But I was watching this thing on SETI, like I was talking about in the last video, where this guy is saying that maybe there's life out there and it's abundant. There's a bunch of civilizations, but probably the reason we haven't heard anything, if there's something out there, is because space could be a hostile place. There could be some very violent and advanced civilizations out there looking to prey on others, right? If you're a prey, you're a hurt or wounded animal, like a rabbit or something, you're not going to scream, make as much noise as you can. You don't know who's going to answer that call, man. It could be a fox or something. So, radio discipline, man. Speak in code. I'll get into that here in a sec. But anyway, I just wanted to get down with this. Now let's get to the good stuff. This is a Apache 3800 case. It's kind of like a Pelican case, but easier on the pocket. I got this thing for about $30. Harbor Freight had a sale going on, and I just bought it then. I remember I was going to buy it anyway, and then I saw the signs up, sale next weekend, so went by, picked it up, $30. And it's a darn good case for the price. And let's get into it here. Okay. So, make sure you guys got a good angle of all this stuff. Okay, yeah. So, let's get into what I have, and I'm going to leave links to everything in the description bar in case you want to do this setup. I mean, man, improve on it. I'm not the expert. Again, I just learn as I go, okay? So, we'll get into it here. The Baofeng radio, the programming cable. Get the real one. It's going to save you a big headache. This one was $17, right? I could have got one for like $5, $6, $7, something like that, but it's going to be a hell of a headache. It's better just to cough up the money, especially if you're going to program multiple radios. It makes it so much easier, right? If you're going to do one, I mean, still, for the headache, I would spend the extra couple bucks. So, programming cable. This here, communication setup. I can't show you all, but I mean, this is basically, how to work the thing, how to scan, what frequencies to start on for, you got your very high frequency and your ultra high frequency, just what to press, what numbers to start on, stuff like that. How to get from channel mode and frequency mode, stuff like that. And then to make it easier, I simply like program them as channels. So for example, the GMRS slash FRS frequencies, you know, they share some frequencies, like frequency 462.5625. I just programmed it as channel 1. And I just went down the line and gave them all different channel numbers. Simple as that. I've got also some other information like the NOAA weather radio service, the closest fire department, EMS, sheriff. I got medevac channels, city hall. I mean, I want to listen to what's going on around me. So that's kind of what I set up for my family. And also, like, I'm not going to show the back, but there's basically the codes that we break into. So we get into where basically, let's say I'm not getting good reception, I gotta make a, you know, take a little walk or something. If I don't have reception, you never know. I mean, right now I get reception, but you know, who knows what? I have no idea. Just worst case scenario, I gotta get moving. I can write down a code and relay it. They can take it down and, you know, decipher it. But pen, pencil, and something to write with for notes or, you know, transmitting something. Let's say I'm warning somebody or giving somebody a heads up about something. I can just transmit the code. They can go and read it and, you know, break it down, see what I'm trying to tell them. And also just for notes and stuff like that. I've got these Baofeng headset. You know, they came with it, so I just threw them in there. We have, let's go with this guy. I'll leave a link to the description bar. And this guy, now this is a radio.
Rapid fire and still covering.
We've got the AM, FM, and the NOAA weather radio service. This sucker is solar chargeable. And the main reason I got it in here, you can crank power this thing to charge itself or other devices. So for example, my cell phone, I can program, I can hook it up. I'm gonna go ahead and do that. Hook it up and get some power for other items. Just put that there. I'm going to unzip tie or twist tie all this stuff for you guys. That's how much y'all mean to me. Alright. Got this guy at Dollar Tree. I like it because it lights up. Oh, hold on. Telemarketer. Okay, so sorry about that, guys. So this guy, it would take you a long time, but charging 82%, if I keep this up, take about an hour 20 to charge it. Which, it's a hell of a long time really to be doing this. But let's say, worst case scenario, you had to bug out, you got nothing but time. Let's see. We'll see. I mean, the solar, anything solar is going to take forever. So just keep that in mind. So, we're at 82%. I don't think it's going to do anything right away. I mean, it's very cloudy outside, partly cloudy, it's cold, cloudy. And I've got the screen down, so I lose a lot of the rays through the glass. But we'll just leave it there. We'll see what happens. Like I said, I doubt it, but it may. I got this power bank. I don't even know they make this anymore. I had it laying around, just threw it in here. But I'll show you why. I'll just put this right here for now. Charger. I've got two of these Cobra telescopic antennas. With these guys, I can get about double the range from the duckbill antennas that came with these Midlands. So, reason I'll show you the ham radios under this, but I've got CB radios in here as well as hams. You need both, in my opinion. You can't get CB frequencies on a ham radio. You can't get ham radio frequencies on a CB radio. And, I mean, they're not as popular as they were. I mean, I hear they were really popular in the 70s. I don't know. I was raw vitamin E back then. But, you know, I'd rather have ways to get in touch with people. Many ways to listen and to, you know, to communicate. So, I've got this here is the the cheaper one, I paid about 35. They're probably about 40 something bucks now, 45-ish. The Midland 785. And then this is their higher end. I don't know if I should, I guess they're having one good one, really high end one, maybe two, but it's up to you. This guy is the Midland 75822, right? They're higher end, got no radio service on there, but I got one of each. I bought one, and like, you know what, let me get another one. And I put them both in there. Again, I'm going to leave links to all this stuff in the description bar if you want to get this stuff, if you want to improve on it, man. I would definitely say it's, I mean, I believe in it. That's why I bought it myself. I've got this guy here, which is a charger, and I'll show you why I've got these two in here in a bit. These three items will show you in a bit. I've got these guys. These are the same solar chargers I showed last time, right? And it takes forever to charge batteries, but I got rechargeables in here, and it takes forever. But again, I'd rather something take a long, sweet time charging than not charge at all. I've got a way to do it. So leave these in the sun. Don't leave them on your dashboard. Like if you leave them in your car, rolled up windows. I mean, first it's going to overheat and melt them down or something, or damage them. So it's got to be just full sun, direct sunlight. You know, you lose some of the rays with glass anyway. So just out and about, just leave them there. If you were to set up some kind of camp or something, I mean, just leave them there. You know, you only got to get them if it rains or something, then let it dry out. But anyway, that's what these guys are. Okay, now to the bottom. We have the Baofeng radios. I got 3 of them. Now, they just, September 30th, they just, these things are banned, right? I would highly, highly, highly recommend you guys get them if you're watching this video when I first posted. And if you watch it and they're disappearing, they're going to probably alter them before they come into the U.S. Or maybe, you know, just have a newer model. I wouldn't go with any newer models, any new and improved, because that means it's going to be less capability, or modified if, you know, they're FCC certified. So get them while you can. Even if you get these, like I've got some on order right now. They should be here soon. And I can use them for trading. I mean, I can hand them off to somebody I can trust, or I can use them for trade because they'll know you can be grandfathered. So some big company, they're going to get massive fines per day for selling these things, cheap radios, you know, and massive fines for selling cheap radios. You know that's coming to an end. They're going to ban them from importation completely. It's just a matter of time. In here, I sold the original batteries that came with it. I got these on eBay. Just some cheap AAA battery case, right? They work, but I'm getting fresh batteries I'm going to throw in here as soon as the store gets stocked up. And that's what I'm going to do. The last ones I gave to my brother. But anyway, so I'm going to stock them up with AAAs. With these chargers, I now have the option of using your alkaline batteries, which you use 5 of those, and a dummy battery because they carry a higher voltage than the rechargeable. So if you use rechargeables, you can use all 6. If you use alkaline, then use either one dead battery, completely dead battery, or a dummy battery, right? And then if your voltage is too high, which this one doesn't have a battery in it right now, but you would press 0, it would show you your voltage. You want to stay about, what is it, 7.5, 7.2 between there. Otherwise, if you have too much voltage, it won't transmit. You'll receive, but you won't transmit. So you got to keep that in mind. I got that, so I got capability to use rechargeable batteries, or I can use AAA batteries. Now, I got 2 of these AA battery cases. So now I can use triple or AA. Very common batteries. That's what they say. You know, you want to have things. I always say I want solar or crank, and I'm going to get into that in a second. But also everybody says, you know, a lot of people say you want triple and AA because they're very popular. You can get them. So I can get those. I have a good chance of finding them. Let's say I do not find them. I like this setup. I've got this. It's a Be Charming NT4 power bank with solar panels, right? Look, I open it up, it starts charging already, right? So I like solar and crank. So this is the solar, the improved solar. This guy and this, the VC4 XTAR, I don't know, I'll just call it the VC4. But I can charge up batteries with this guy. I can either, I like to keep it charged, but if not, I can use the sun to charge it for me. So let's see here. The one thing I don't like about this, I gotta be honest, I don't like this proprietary cable. I wish you would just use a standard USB, but you can't have your cake and eat it too. You can see here, do that where you can. Let's see. .3 volts. Okay. So we're just going to let it run its course there for a few minutes anyway while we do this video. That's a plug that comes with it. Now, with this Be Charming solar charger battery bank, guys, I know men don't ask for directions and we don't read instructions, but this is one of them times you're going to have to break that rule. You're going to need a 2 amp charger, right, to charge this thing. Or it's going to take forever, right? I mean forever. I had one that was 0.85, and I left the damn thing. It must have been 14, 16 hours, and it didn't get to 20%. So, I'm like, okay, let me read up on this thing. You need at least a 2 amp charger, and it took 3 hours fully charged. I haven't fully charged it in the sun 100% yet. I've had this just for a while, so but I'm still testing this sucker. But I'm really happy with it. And I think it was like $45, something like that. Again, I'll leave a link to all this stuff in the description bar. But I like this sucker, and I have a way to recharge batteries. So now, my CB radios, my ham radios, I can charge them. I'm going to have the double A's that I'm going to buy when they get some fresh ones in stock. So I'm going to buy those here pretty soon for the ham radios. Or if I need to, I can charge them all up with double A's, right? Powered by the sun. Or these guys. I've got a couple ways to do that. So these small solar chargers. I've got the large Be Charming solar charger. I've got this crank here, which I didn't even forget what we looked at. I think it was 82. Yeah, it's still 82. That's going to take forever. And then I've got this power bank, right? This will also charge off of power banks as well as an outlet. So really cool piece of gear here. I like this thing. It's pretty cool. Which goes to this guy again. The reason I got this, let's say I run into some just plain old ankle-on bat. I got this at Dollar Tree for $1, man. But let's say I did run into some batteries somewhere, right? Well, now, instead of taking a case of batteries, if I was to find a case of batteries or something and get so lucky, instead of taking that whole case, what I would do myself, maybe take some, but I would charge up power into these banks, right? That way, instead of taking, say, 50 batteries, I drain them all, the power into this power bank, which I'm going to carry with me anyway, right? Weighs less than a pound. So I would take all those, drain the power into this power bank, and I can, charge batteries. I can charge cell phones or anything with a USB. Or mini USB, I would have the ability to charge. If it took AA or AAA batteries, I would be able to charge that too. And this thing has a whole list of things that it can charge up. You can do AAA, AA, C batteries, D batteries. There's a whole list on the box, but I have it mainly for these radios. Now, again, I'm not the expert, guys. I learn as I go. I got burned on these. They are knockoffs. Now, I saw them, I'm like, all right, I got a hell of a deal. No. Nagoya should actually be silver, should have 3 dots in the A, should have gold connectors. This is just straight, not this little indentation, or just little cone on top of a cone shape or whatever. I ordered one online. It's supposed to be genuine Nagoya. If it is, I'm going to order 2 more. But, I mean, these actually work okay. It's too late to return them. So, you know, that's all right. But they work better than the duckbills that came with these Baofengs. Just like the duckbills that came with the Midlands, you know, the extended work better. So I'm going to go ahead and keep them just in case, right? I'm going to show others, you know, the difference. But we use the genuine Nagoya. But this will be a good backup, you know, just in case. Hell, if I bust something, at least I got those. And I keep, I'm going to actually find those other duckbill. I got a original duckbill one just in there for backup. I got to say, the original ankle-line charger for this guy, I sold it. I don't need it. I wanted to rely on, again, solar or crank power. But then again, takes 6 ankle-line, put 2 deads, it'll work, right? So I sold that. The 2 duckbills, I got one for this guy. I'm going to sell it now. I don't need it either. But I sold that back to try to recoup some cost. I try to get everything as cheap as possible, and then I sell what I don't need to somebody that may want it. Right? I could keep them around, or I could lower cost and throw it into something else. Right? The batteries, the lithium batteries, I didn't want them. Right? I wanted to go with AA, so I sold them. So I brought the cost down a little bit from what I'm putting in. The charger. Right, you can get like a USB. I didn't want to do that. I just wanted to go on again, battery power for multiple things. I sold that too. I'm trying to keep costs down. Right, so that's pretty much a setup I got here. Again, I'm not the expert. I'm going to put some of this AAAs here. I don't want to keep them inside the equipment, but anyway, for the sake of the video, I just wanted to get this done. Remember, these guys are going to disappear or be altered. I highly, highly recommend you get them now. If you have questions about this stuff, guys, let me know. The VC4, this thing is cool, man. I've used it for a while. I had it for a while, and I'm like, you know what, let me put it in here. I'll buy another one for the house or just a regular wall charger for rechargeables. But anyway, that's the setup I have. I have multiple ways to communicate, right? This is a dual band. I got very high frequency, ultra high frequency. In these radios, I got CB frequency, so I got 3 different, basically 3 radios, you know, 2 in 1 here, and then CBs. I've got this guy here to get information about what's going on around me. Oh, it's charging, so it's not going to work. Okay, no problem. But I can see what's going on. I've got multiple ways to get information. I've got multiple ways to communicate. And these are inexpensive, so I can hand them off. These are for my family here. Again, if I was going to get a ham radio license or something, I would cough up some more money, but I'm not. This is just emergency only. And another thing, I mean, if I got like a Yaesu, that's $100 per radio, 100 plus, you know, $110, $120 plus shipping. That'd be $300 just on radios. This whole setup is less than $300 after, you know, I got as cheap as I could. And then I sold off stuff I didn't need. I waited for sales. And I still need the batteries, which will probably bring me up to $300. But this whole setup is less than $300. And I've got multiple ways to communicate. Right? And anyway, that's it. Probably dragged this on long enough. Thanks for watching, guys. You have a good one. I recommend these Baofengs. They're great for the price. Get them while you can because they're going to alter them. All good things come to an end. And, the government's inefficient, so it may take them a while, but eventually they're going to get to it, right? All right, that's it for me, guys. Please share this video. It's really important that people get set up, get these things before they disappear, and they probably might like this setup, or, like I said, improve on it. I don't know it all. I learn as I go. So anyway, I hope this helps. Hope you guys like it. Y'all have a good one.